Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day, everyone. So I'm going to briefly introduce you about the AutoCAD software. So I really hope that you already installed the AutoCAD software in your computer. The latest version of the software is AutoCAD 2022, in which from time to time the software has been upgraded, and but the features more or less are the same. It's just the method of rearrangements of the features. So if you were to refer to the references in the YouTube's or on other internet sources, you will still use the example given, because more or less it's just the same. It's maybe some rearrangement of the interface. So when you turn on your software, something like this will pop up. So here in the recent area, you can see all the other drawings that you have done previously. So if you want to continue doing the same drawing, you can just click to whatever drawing that you have done before. But if you just want to you want to start drawing a new one, you can click new. But before that, you click here and make sure that you click ACAD.DWT. Otherwise, if you just click new, it will pop up to the recent document that you have used. So better if you start totally zero from ACAD.DWT. So something like this will appear, in which this is the workstation, the area where you're going to draw your drawings. And on top of it, you have a ribbon here, and on this ribbon is have many buttons that you can use in order to draw your drawings. And this button had been grouped into different section. This is for the drawing section, this is modify section, annotation related to dimension and text, layers, blocks, and so on. And these are under home section, under the home panel. And if you go, if you notice, on top of it, beside that, we have insert, annotate, parametric, and so on. But most of the time, we just go for home button here. Under home button, we can see all these features that you normally use to draw any type of drawing in the workstation here. And beside that, on top of the on the interface is, if you see this AutoCAD symbol, if you click here, this is where you can open other document, you can create new document, you can save this and import this or print it. So this is under the AutoCAD symbol. And beside that, it also have other shortcut symbols such as save, open, or new document here. So basically, this is what the interface will look like. And in the ribbon bottom here, we have some other features that I'm going to share and explain to you later. Okay, and then we have model, we have layout, and well, actually we can add more layout if you want. So what is the difference between model and layout? Model is the workspace where we draw the drawing, and then the layout will be the documentation part, in which if you want to print or convert the drawing into PDF, we are going to do it in the layout section. So there is difference between model and layout, but for time being, let's just focus on the model workspace here. Okay, so how to use all this button? But before that, the most important thing when you want to start drawing, I think the most important thing is to make sure that the unit that you use for the drawing is according to the unit that you want. So how to change the unit? So what you need to do, just the mouse should be in the workspace anyway, and then you need to type unit. Okay, you type unit, this selection will appear. Just click units. Okay, so from here you can see some of the setting of the units. And because AutoCAD is originally from United States, so that's why the default unit for the workspace will be in inches. But for us, we would like to change it to the ISI units, and it depends. If you are drawing a small object, it will be in millimeters. If you want to draw, let's say, house, buildings, it should be in meters. And well, it depends to the size of the object that you want to draw. But for us now, let's just start with millimeters first, and then we just click OK. So now the workspace has been set to be in millimeters. So all the things that we are going to do will be in millimeters. And you can see here, let's just start by drawing a line first. Okay, so if you want to draw a line, what you need to do is to click line, and then it will ask you to specify the first point. You can specify the first point anyway, or if you want to start with a specific location or coordinate, you can still do so. What you need to do, if you want to state, let's say you want to coordinate it to be at the coordinate of let's say 10, and then the other one is 10. So what you need to do is to type in 10 and then comma and then 10 and then enter. So the starting point of the line will be starting at the coordinate of 10, 10. And sometimes it's very important for us to start with a specific coordinate, because it will help us to do some proper arrangement of the drawing. But if you think that the coordinate is not really important, it's up to you to just click. So I just cancel this. Okay, if you don't think that you don't want to you don't have any specific point to start, just click one time, and then now you can draw the line. Okay, so I just going to draw a line here. Click one more time, and then it will still going to continue with the line. If you don't want to draw any other line, just click escape. Okay, so this is a line that we have already drawn. Okay, beside using the button of line, okay, to draw the line, and this is also meant for other type of button here, the other option that we can do is to type the command line. Okay, so I'm just going to type line. Okay, when you type line, you have different features here, so just click line. So when you click line, same features, which is to draw a line, will appear. So specify the first point. If you don't have any coordinate, just click one and then click another one and then escape. So now this is a very basic thing. You can use the button here, or you can type in the command. Why the command is there? Because sometimes if you compare, because the recent AutoCAD have the same features like this, but if you were to use the old version of AutoCAD, maybe the AutoCAD 2010, let's say, the features like the list feature will be a bit different, so it's a bit confusing. You don't know where to find the line button. You or don't know how to do the modification of the drawings and so on. So the command are still the same. So that's why some people prefer to use command instead of using the button. But for this class, I'm going to show you how to use the button, because I think it's more convenient for the beginners to do the drawings. Okay, so this is the command line, and then we have polyline. Okay, so polyline is also line. However, okay, I just going to start from here, and then okay, you're just going to continue here, here. Okay, escape. So this is a polyline in which all the lines are connected to each other. If I choose this, you can see that it's been highlighted to all the other lines. Okay, but if I use the line features, do the same thing. Okay, okay, like this. If I choose this line, the other line will not going to be selected. So the line had been the line, if I use line, the line are separated, but if I use polyline, all the line are connected. Okay, so this is the difference between using line and polyline. Sometimes it's better to use line, and sometimes if you want to draw something that have some interconnection, maybe the polyline is more suitable. And then let's just draw circle. Okay, if you notice circle, if you click here, there are a lot of options on how to draw circle. You can be based on radius, it can be based on diameter, or it can be in 2 points, 3 point, tangent, tangent radius, or tangent, tangent, tangent. So we start with the center radius first. Okay, so you need to specify the first point. Okay, just click, and now you can just draw, or you can specify the radius. So I say, let's say the radius is 5. Okay, when you click 5, when you type 5 and enter, so the radius of the circle will be 5. Let's just do the diameter. Click bottom here and then choose center with diameter. Okay, I'm going to go to the center point of the same circle. Click, and then the diameter I'm going to say 8. Okay, so this is the 8 circle with the 8 mm diameter. This is the circle with the 5 mm radius. So it's up to you if you want to use radius or diameter. And again, even for the line, after you specify the first point, you can you can type in the how long the line will be. Let's say I want it to be 15 mm. So I type in 15 and enter. So, and then if you want to if you don't want to draw another line, just click escape. Okay, so this line is 15 mm long. Okay, what about arc? Okay, so if you want to draw arc, okay, it's also have any option. It can be start, center, and so on. So there are a lot of way of drawing arcs. Let's just start with the 3 point. So point number 1, point number 2, and okay, and point number 3, let's say. And beside that, we have the start, center, and start, center, and okay. So this is the way of using arc. Beside that, we also have the rectangular or polygon. Start with rectangular. So specify the first point and then specify the opposite point. Something like this. Or polygon, how many sides? It will ask you how many sides of the, because it's polygon. So let's say I want it to be 6 sides. You type in 6 and enter. Then you need to specify the center of the polygon. So I'm just going to click here. So is it inscribe or subscribe? Subscribe. Okay, so this is the polygon with 6 side. Okay, so others we can draw ellipse and also hatch. I'm going to show you the features hatch later. So now I want to go to modify. Okay, and in order for us to modify this drawing, what we need to do is we need to know how to use the mouse. Okay, So if you want to zoom in, we just scroll in. If we want to zoom out, we can just scroll out. If you want to let's say move to the right side or the left side, what you need to do is to hold the roller of your mouse until this hand symbol appear, and then you can move according to the position that you want. Okay, I want to move here and I want to scroll out. Okay, if you want to click the line, click by using the right click. Okay, let's say I want to click this circle, right click. Okay, if you use the left click, sorry, if you want to select, this is the left click by using the left side of the mouse. Click. If you want click, or you want to select of this, just click everything. But if you use the right click, for instance here, if you choose and then you click right click, it will have a few option here, such as the properties, and then the properties of the let's say this is the circle. You can change in terms of the thickness of the line, in terms of the radius, and so on, and even the color, and so on. Let's say I want to change the color into red. Okay, something like this. Okay, so that's the function of properties. In order to get this, you need to right click the object properties, and in fact if you just want to change the main properties of it, just go to quick properties. Okay, such as the color, layer, and so on. If you want to delete, if you want to you know, you don't want this, you can close this. Okay, so beside that, let's say if I want to select all of this item, you can do it manually by selecting all of these one by one, or there is another way. What you need to do, zoom out a bit, and then you can click all. What you need to do is to click from the right side like this, from the left side, just click one time, and then just move your mouse so that all the items within the blue region will be selected. Okay, so this is the faster way of to select many objects in the same time. Okay, but in the same time, if you put your mouse at the right side, if you do the same, the green color region will appear. Okay, it can also be used to select all the object like this. Okay, so what are the differences between the blue color region and the green color region? Well, actually, if you choose the blue color region, which you have to move to the right side, only the object that had been fully covered in the blue region will be selected. For instance, like this one, you can see that the polygon and these two arc are not in the fully in the blue region, so these three things will not going to be selected. Only the items that have been fully covered in the blue region. However, if you move to the left side like this, all the items that have been touched by the green region will be selected, including this box and so on. Although it's not fully covered by the green region, but because it's been touched, it will be selected. So that's the difference between the blue color and the green color. So blue color and green color. Okay, so now let's just try to use some other features here. if you can see here, there are few. Let's say I want to start with move. First of all, you select the object and then you click move, and it will ask you to specify the base point. If you notice at the bottom here, this is the command. You can either read this or you can read it through the mouse here. So the base point is in where you should move the object. So let's say I want it to be at this side. So okay, so the reference of the point will be based on the point that we have choose. Okay, so it's move here. Okay, what about if we want to copy the object? So select the object, you want to copy it. Okay, so we need to also still specify the base point. If I want to have the base point here, and then I want to have, so you can see here it has been copied based on the base point. Okay, you can have more. If you only want 3, you don't want more, escape. That's about copy. And stretch, select the object. Okay, you can either choose to click the button first and then select the object and then enter before you can do something with the object, or you can choose the object first and then click the button and then do the job. Okay, so either way it's okay. Either way you can do the same thing. Okay, something like this. You can do the scaling. Okay, whether you want it to be bigger or smaller, you can even, okay, just want to have it half the size, so 0.5. Just the scale factor will be included here. Just type in and then enter. So the size has been reduced half compared to the original size. Beside that, we also have mirror object. Okay, something like this. It depends to where. Erase source object, either yes or no. So yes if you don't want the original picture to be there, but most of the time we just say no. Okay, so these are some of the example. Beside that, we also have trimming. Let's say, okay, I just going to draw something like this. Okay, let's say we just want this shape. We don't want these two circle. So we can do the trimming. So click trimming, and then you can trim, so that at the end you're just going to get this shape. Beside the trimming, you can extend it. For instance, this line you want to extend. Okay, I think I want to show you how to use fillet. There are two ways. One is fillet and one is chamfer. Okay, most of the time in any equipment, the design will not going to be sharp like this. So we need to have the corner to be a bit fillet. We call it as fillet. So just select the object first and then go to fillet. Select the first object and then select the second object. Okay, select the first line and then the second line. Sorry. Okay, because this is a polyline, so I mean it's a bit different. Okay, let's just try by, because this is a separate line. Okay, because it's a polyline, if you click, it will also click all the line. But let's do it here. Fillet. I want to fillet, let's say this side. So select the first line and select the second line. Okay, sorry. What you need to do when you want to fillet, you can select the based on radius, multiply multiple trim or polyline. So let's just pick radius. The radius I want it to be, let's say, 1. Enter. So this is the first object and this is the second object. Okay, so after that you can see that the radius of the curve that been filleted here is 1. Okay, and let's just try with chamfer. Okay, same, you want to have the angle or the distance. Okay, let's say I want it to be have a distance. The distance will be 2. Enter. And then this is the, okay, I want to choose this. Okay, so this has been chamfered. Maybe it's not really that. Let's try the again. Okay, just going to go for distance. Let's say 0.5. Select first line, select the second line. Okay, now it's more obvious. This is the chamfer and this is the fillet. We will do a lot of chamfer and fillet when we are doing the exercises related to the 2D and 3D drawing, but this is the way of doing that. So beside that, we can also erase if you don't want, let's say, this whole, because it is a polyline, so just erase this, something like this. If you already finished doing the erasing, you can just escape. Okay, so beside that, we also have the array mode. This array can be in terms of rectangular, path array, or polar array. I'm going to show you on how to use the rectangular array first. You need to select the object, enter. Okay, once you enter, it will be like this. What you need to do is to do some setting here. How many array that you want? Let's say I want it to be 3, and row is only 2. So the column and the row will be 3 and 2. What about if I want to change it to 6 and 4? Okay, so you can see here the array of all these had been uh, uh, the same object had been multiplied many times, and this is based on the rectangular shape. What about if let's say we want to have this rotated in the polar array, the circle one? Okay, choose polar, select the object. Okay, because this is not connected, so we need to choose 2 of it, and then enter. Specify the center point. Okay, I'm going to specify the center point here. Okay, so it's look nicer. Item by default is 6. If we want to have more, we can just type in, let's say, 10. Okay, if we want to have it 100, sorry. Okay, so this is 100, 50, and so on. It depends to the arrangement of the array that you want. We are going to also use this feature a lot later. And we also have this. Okay, for array, when you do the array, you can see here when I click one of the polygon here, the other will be clicked too, because it's in a group. And sometimes we don't want it to be in the group. Sometimes we want to erase. Let's say I want to erase this polygon and this polygon. However, I cannot do that because it's in a group. If I want to, let's say, erase this, it will erase everything. So what we need to do, we need to ungroup this. And how to ungroup this? Select the object, go to home, and then go to explode. Okay, when you click explode, all of these polygons are now have been separated individually. So if I don't want this polygon here in this position, I just going to delete this. You can use the erase features, or you can use the trim features, or you can just pick this and click delete button. Just delete on the keyboard. Okay, something like that. Okay, so I think that's one of the basic thing that you need to learn on how to use these features in the modify area. One of the other thing is the offset. If you want to draw parallel line and so on, let's say if I want to draw a line here, click this line and then click offset, and it will ask you whether the distance, what is the distance. We want to have a parallel line here. I say the distance will be 5. Enter. Okay. Enter. Enter. Click and so on. So this is the offset mode. Okay. And in order for us to draw machine that have consistency in terms of the distance and so on, the offset button is very important. And in fact, the array button is also very important. Okay. So let's us also go just a little bit on the text here under annotation. Let's just go for dimension first. So just click dimension. If you want to know what is the length of this line, just click this N and this line. So you will get this. Unfortunately, you can see here the font is a bit very small. You can't see this. So that's why if you don't want this, you want to change this, you can do so by right click. Sorry, if you don't click escape, it will still measure the dimension. So escape first, and then if you want to make the size bigger in terms of the, what you need to do is click this and then right click and then go to properties. Okay, by going to the properties, we can change the color, the arrow size. Let's say I want the arrow size to be 0.5. Okay, and in fact the type of arrow, I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be like this one. And the font size, the text size, I want it to be 1. Okay, now it's looking better because it's bigger and we can have this. And in fact, the decimal point also can be adjusted. If you don't want it to be too much, just maybe 0. Okay, so this is where to do all the setting. If you already finished the setting, you can just close this. Okay, and the text, if you want to do some text, just click here. Some multi-line, normally we just go for multi-line text. Just click the button and then specify the first corner. Maybe I want it to have the text inside of this box, so just specify the first one and then the second one. So now we can type in the text that we want. Let's say I just want to type ENG3201. Okay, so it's a bit too small. So again, similar like the dimension, you just click this and right click and then go to properties and just change this test I. Let's say I want it to be 2. or maybe bigger, 4, let's say. So enter. Now the text is bigger. Yeah, we can, if you want to change, let's say, okay, just close this. If you want to change the word here, you just double click and then you can change it like this. Okay, that's about the dimension. You can also explore on how to create a table. I'm going to show you how to use the linear and ladder later, and then I also will show you on how to use the layer later. Okay, so I think this is the very basic features that normally used in drawing any technical drawing using the AutoCAD. So please explore using all of these features. You can also try to go to YouTube to find example in the video given in the other video to explore more, because exercise makes perfect. When once you're familiar with all of this, you will be more competent in using the software. Okay, I almost forget about this ribbon here. Okay, so this is the ribbon where it will help you to draw a perfect drawing. Let's say if I want to draw a line, okay, specify the first point. If you notice, there is a green line here. So the green line is is an assistant for us in order to draw a proper straight line. This is what we call as polar tracking at the bottom here. Polar tracking. If I untick this, the green line will not going to be appear, and then it's going to have a more difficult time to draw a straight line. But if I want to make sure that I have an assistant to draw the line, just click this and then it will help you to draw straight line. And in fact, if you want to have, let's say, based on the angle, 45 angle, okay, so once it's reached 45-degree angle, the green line will appear. Okay, so 180 angle like this. Okay, if I want to finish this in a shape, the endpoint, you can see is giving some indicator. This is the endpoint. So this is the features that we can get from polar tracking. And the polar tracking also have a few option, whether you want it to be the degree that you want to have is 45, 90, 135 and so on, or 30, 60. Let's just go for 30, 60, 90 degree. So if you want to draw a line of 30, so now instead of 45, the line will indicate either 30 degree or 60 degree. 60 degree, let's say. Okay, so you can just change according to your need. Beside that, if you have it like a box, you can just click auto mode without any degree at all. It will guide you to draw. You cannot draw the angle. You can just go straight line, 90-degree line. Something like this. It will help you to draw that. So it's either this one and this one. This is the grid mode. If you don't want to have the grid, you can just turn this off. And this is the snap mode, or you can untick this. Beside that, we also have the snap, in which the snap, if you click at the side of the snap button, there are few things that you can choose. So the snap button now have the default of endpoint, midpoint, center. Okay, let's say we have the circle here, and if we don't turn on the snap, we cannot find the center. But if you turn the off snap on, you can get the center. And in fact, the tangent, let's say something to do with the tangent. This is the tangent and so on that we can use by going to this. And there are a lot of other features. You just need to tick it: node, quadrant, extension, and so on. And this is based on the needs doing the drawing. During the exercises, you will definitely use some of these features. Okay. So, um, okay, so we already changed the unit, how to use the mouse, yes, draw line, polyline, off snap, auto, copy, mirror, offset, trimming, erase, filler, chamfer. Okay, we have more or less have completed all the introduction of this, but again, I wish that you will try to do this and try to do your homework going to going to the YouTube and find other videos that going to give you introduction on how to use all these features in a more advanced way. Okay, and we are going to do a lot of exercises after this in order for you to familiarize yourself with the software. Okay, I think that's all for this video. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.